So already just having a voiceover, you know there's a problem. So uh, I lost the original beginning portion of this episode. So that's why you're hearing me now. Basically, to explain what happened, I had a certain video format I was trying to use to upgrade my quality on some of these videos, and I had to convert it to another format in order to use it in Photoshop or in Adobe Premiere Pro. And unfortunately, I lost it because of that. It got corrupted. So the beginning of this video is lost, and basically, this is the intro to beta 1.7.3 if it's not already obvious. And we're going to be finishing up a few projects and introducing a new features, pistons, sticky pistons, things like that, just to get you caught up with what you've missed. So anyway, ciao. Okay, if you don't remember last time, I made a few episodes ago, we made this farm, and I couldn't really come up with the right fence for it, so I just made a cobblestone fence to fit the theme of the castle. I originally wanted to do a wood fence with the cobblestone as a corner, or like middle posts. Only problem was the fence is never connected correctly, and I think that was in 1.2 or 1.3. So what that means, since we're in 1.6.6, I think fences will connect together and actually not be invisible. So let's try that out, because I want to see if that works. And I don't even remember the recipe for fences anymore. I think I'm a psycho. Actually, I don't even know if that's enough. Anyway, let's go find out. So where I placed these torches on top of the cobblestone is where I want each cobblestone pillar to be, which is just a block, right? So if I'm not mistaken, yeah, hey, it actually worked. It doesn't really connect, but hey, I'm not going to complain. Now you could say, well, why don't you just, make the corner a fence? For me, I don't like to do just... Actually, this is the most hypocritical thing I've ever said. I'm going to say this while looking at the castle, but I usually don't like to build something out of entirely one block. I like to use different things. So here, fences and cobblestone go well together, even if it does not have the kind of streamlined look where it all connects together when it's all just wooden fences. For me, I feel like it needs to have just a little bit of a pop, not just one flavor, you know what I mean? I mean, do you think about getting like ice cream at an ice cream shop? Like you're just gonna get, like you get 3 scoops, you're really gonna get one and the same thing? No. And if you do, you're not a human. That's a really good sign. And people would start running away from you if you did that. I just want to be clear. But if you're a normal human who has human friends and you guys do human stuff together, you'd get multiple flavors because that's what you do. And that's how I see it here. Why would I not use multiple palettes or whatever to build this when I have the option to? Why would it just be one thing? So the only reason it was holding me back is because it looked so bad, and you couldn't even place them next to each other, I don't think. So that was like just a complete block. But now we're good. So hopefully in the future these things actually connect to the corner in a future update. I really don't like the way that looks, but it looks a hell of a lot better. And if you haven't noticed, animals got in like crazy. Open spot, open spot, open spot. 2 of them, 3 there. I think I just replaced this like a couple days ago just on my own. And already 1 spot's already gone. So, I mean, you should have seen it earlier. It was like half of each one of those wheat farms are just done. So it's really important to actually have fences as a functional aspect. So yeah, that looks better. I like that. You know, considering I died for the first time, it makes me, well, not disappointed, but you know, you can use a death counter in any world with commands, but we don't have commands to do that. And I mean, of course, you have statistics, right? Games quit, number of deaths, 1, right there. Sure, we have stats, but I think it'd be more fun to add a certain feature to sort of like really address that you died. It's not supposed to be like hardcore, but I think making some kind of a graveyard would be interesting. And every time you die, you gotta go back and make another tombstone. You can like visually see how many times you've died. So I think I want to do that. So where would the graveyard be? First, let me sleep. Before anything else, I have a feeling it would be over here. Something about this gives me graveyard vibes. I don't know what it is. Oh, you know what? That, oh, yeah, this does work as a graveyard over here. I think, yeah, I think this will work. So I think what I want to do is sort of make it not really formal, sort of always ready to be added on to, because that is the point. I think if I'm going to make a fence, it's going to be like stone slabs. I'm trying to make it sort of that rocky European style wall. Hey buddy, what do you want? Oh my god, no loot? Whatever. Some people are just greedy. I don't know. Let's add in a fence over here. Made out of stone. The only problem here is these trees. Oh, maybe I don't need a fence. Maybe I can just make a... Maybe I'll make it like a ruined. Sort of like a broken looking fence to suggest that it's really old, and that maybe it's not so formally made anymore. It's been weathered down. So I think kind of what I was going for, and sometimes you just have to like just place it, you know. Just like a blob. I don't even know what I'm going for. Something like that, maybe? I don't even... I'm doing my best here. Maybe some pieces fell off. You know. It looks odd. Okay. Well, you know, in the future, I think I want to add iron bars there. I think that would look a lot better. I'm not sure about this design. So what I'm going to do first instead is make a grave. And then think about how I want to build around it. Because in all reality, I can't build the graveyard unless I die a bunch of times, because there's only going to be one tombstone for every time I die. So basically, I can't really predict what kind of a fence I would need, or what kind of border I would need, because I don't know how big it's going to be or where it's going to go. So I think I don't even know. I mean, it's simple, but first, death. Let's go capital. This is important. First death. What's the date? It is February 9th, 2025. How sad. First death. Right there. Actually, you know what? Let's put gravel here. I'll be back with some gravel. Okay, got our gravel here. And I think that's sort of going to be my burial dirt, if you want to call it that. Sort of acknowledge that something is buried here and not just some grass. We're not going to be cheap. We're going to use the good stuff. Some of that Lowe's gravel. Actually, oh, I should put the version number actually. Yeah. First death. 2/9/2025. And let's do, and we're on beta 1.6.6. Bam. There you go. Welcome back. An immediate sadness follows, because our old cobblestone texture is gone, but happiness follows, because we have new features. Pistons. You know what that means. Some serious redstone action is about to be commanded into the universe. But anyway, welcome back. We're in beta 1.7.3. Last time we were on beta 1.6.6, and we obviously have new features to work with. So I think more importantly, we're also in the golden age version, which is really exciting. This is the version. So to start off, Minecraft beta 1.7.3 features. Man, is that nice to say. Okay, we got bug fixes. Okay, pistons, sticky pistons, shears, silverfish. Fences can now have a block on the top. You don't have to do a weird thing. Now we have bottom slabs. Where the model of single slabs now uses the bottom half of the block's texture, changing the look for all the slabs from that to that. Not much of a difference. Can no longer be primed by... Oh, TNT cannot be primed by hitting it. So, like last time, I actually almost blew myself up. This is really exciting. So what I want to do... Since I already have slime balls, I found a slime chunk underground down in the mine we've been digging out. So I think I'm going to go hunting slime down there to get a bunch of slime balls. And then we're going to go try to make some sort of contraption. I don't even know. A piston door, maybe a hidden piston staircase here. I haven't done old redstone in an eon, but for some reason trying to make a hidden staircase with pistons is literally the hardest thing in the world, even no matter what you do. You can build, you know, whatever storage system that, you know, it's like a computer where you input what you want. It gives you 100 shulker boxes of what you want. It's like, whatever. Shut up. This is harder. All right. I don't know what it is. It's like I understand redstone, but I don't understand like block states. So it's like you pull a block with a sticky piston, but then you get another sticky piston you get another sticky piston to pull that one, which is pulling another block, and it's like I don't even know what's going on. So that's where I get confused, and that's where I might have to look something up. But I think it's worth a shot to just try something in general. So for this, I think we're just going to do some experimentation. But first, we got to get some slime balls. Even though we have 7, I just want to get slime balls while I'm at it, because in the future I might want to use more pistons, and I don't want to go farm right when I need the slime balls. I'd rather just get a good chunk and then be on with it. So that's what I'm gonna do. Only problem is I gotta wait around for a slime. So yeah, let's That is rough. I think it's going to be smart to cut to when I have found one, because right now I'm just basically walking into the light. Eventually I'm going to meet God, so this might take a while, so. Okay, so after pretty much, I think we're into the third age here, but I finally got a slime, and I didn't know where the slime chunk was, so I basically had to wait till I found one, but it seems like it's right here. So the only question is... Oh, there are small ones. Okay, and he's not dropping slime balls, which means... Huh? Well, that's underwhelming. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to dig out this area farther. That way I have more surface area to work with. So hopefully I can get a slime to spawn. So I did just find a couple slime. I was not recording, but so sometimes they can split into 4 slimes, but not always. I don't know how that works. So yeah, I have 13 now, so I got 6 slime balls, but I dug out this area here. I kept it dark just in case, but I don't know if it's making too much of a difference here. But they should be spawning here, because I know the slimes are spawning in this area, and I have got them a couple times, but it's still very, very rare. It doesn't happen that often, so... also my stuff has been breaking because of the mobs, but I have found a couple diamonds mining this out, which was convenient. But anyway, I'm gonna leave that. 13's probably enough slime balls for a few sticky pistons to go make something, so I think we're just gonna settle with that, and if I ever need more, I'm gonna come back and I don't know, pray that a slime shows up. But yeah, I think what I want to do... Well, there's multiple things I would like to try. And I would like to do them without going into a tutorial to find out how to do it. Because I feel like... I mean, I'm fairly decent at redstone, actually. It's just when it comes to, like, some piston stuff, that's like a whole different art form, if you want to call it, you know. Like, I understand how auto sorters work and hopper, minecart unloaders and loaders, stuff like that. Pistons is a whole different ballgame for me that I don't really understand too well. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna try to make the hidden staircase entrance into the storage room in the middle of the castle. We're gonna try to make these stairs retractable, because that way, theoretically, you always have to be theoretical. Let's say someone does show up and tries to invade you. Well, you wouldn't like them to know that all of your gold, diamond, and iron is right in the middle of your base. I mean, it could not have been easier. They got a staircase. I mean, it's right there. You only need one guy. I mean, this isn't Clash of Clans, but, you know, it might as well be. So I think I want to try to cover this up. I basically have to identify where I would like this to open. Only problem is this already suggests that there's something down there because there's a dig out, which means somehow I need to give the illusion that there's nothing here when there is. Then I also need to make it for a way for you to be able to get out. So I don't even know what to do, but I'm going to break these stairs, and we're just going to cover this part for now and just work on the main function of it first, then figure out the sort of flush design later, because I think the hardest part is going to be the stairs, and then we can come up with some ideas later. I don't even know if I want it to be a staircase. I think I want it to be just blocks going up like that, because it's harder for this to look flush with stairs, because even if they're all the way out the top here, there's still that little divot out of a staircase that you can immediately tell, okay, something's here. You know, I don't want there to be any sign besides maybe a lever that there's something going on. Well, first of all, before I do anything, let's go make a few pistons. I don't know how many we're gonna need, and they're probably only gonna be sticky pistons as well. I don't really imagine a regular piston's actually gonna do much for us. Okay, so we also need to create a repeater, plural. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 5 repeaters. We're gonna go with 2 more. Okay, my first idea is to somehow move a block from this Y level here, assuming it's right here, right? Like it'd be like this. In its resting point, it's pushed up here to this level, and then since it's already extended, when you hit a lever it pulls it down, and then another piston pulls it away, and it's the same thing for the other side. The only problem with that is, like, I have no idea how that's gonna work. Oh, that's a problem. I totally forgot about this. This might not actually work. Because I totally forgot we literally have an opening down there for the rest of the staircase, so that might not actually be viable. But, ooh. Yeah, I don't know if we can do that. Because even if I don't know how to do this, if I looked up how to do it, I'm sure you'd need a piston below it, and we literally can't do that. So I don't know if this is going to be doable, which is fine because there's like a million other things you can do with a piston. So I'm not really too worried about it. It is slightly disappointing though. I thought that was going to be a good idea, but whatever. So I'm thinking I want to do a sort of like a 2-block piston door somewhere instead. And where I'm thinking about doing this is actually down in the mine. Because if you think about why we made that little like sword in the stone type thing, well, it's meant to be hidden, and I feel like maybe when you're down here, let me close this off. When you're down here, you shouldn't be able to just find that little spot right there. Maybe it should just be like, you shouldn't really have any idea that that's there. So I think what I want to do is sort of just like bulk this up. I think I'm going to have to use at least 4 pistons, I think. Actually, I got to get more stone now. Great. And I think I want to use a button rather than a pressure plate. Buttons are a lot harder to spot. So I think that would be a good idea. And I would even try to make it a little more hidden than just a button. I would try to put the button inside of the wall and kind of make a hole. You'll kind of understand what I'm saying, but it'll be like really, really, really tough to see. You'd basically be guessing out of curiosity whether that little like slit in the wall would have a button in it, you know. So let me just fill this up. Add some naturalness. Make the wall natty. Let's establish where we want it. I think we're gonna want it right here. It's at least going to be facing like that. Which means that needs to be covered up as well. And I get my other stack. Just sort of giving the illusion that this is just a natural formation here and that there's nothing to see here. Yeah, that makes sense. So ideally it would just, you know, push it like that. The only problem is that, right, it'll push. Oh, it doesn't take the block. Okay, so that's a problem. Okay, so there's two problems we gotta figure out. So one, how do we get this piston to have the block in front of it if it doesn't take it with it when it's pushed? I mean, and also the second problem is, how do we get this piston to also push this one? I mean, sure, can we just play torches? Sure, we could do that. But if I'm thinking about it, we'd have to turn this off. This one off somehow through a power going into it, like a redstone line going into the block it's on, turning it off. But that's only for one. If we do two, it makes it even more complicated. Oh no, maybe you could just power the block, right? Put a block. Yeah. Okay, never mind. I'm an idiot. I just. All right. I didn't know. All right. So let me break that. Okay, but the other problem is now, how do we get... Do we just do another set? Oh, but the... okay, so I think I can just put a torch here, and then when this moves, it's gonna push the forward. If I'm not wrong. Yeah, okay, it's pushed forward. But the problem is... So that this isn't going here. Maybe I don't do a torch, or maybe we do repeaters because those, like, let's say, and then we, oh, but it doesn't power the block above it though, right? So if I power this, yeah, it's only going to do the bottom one, and only one of them apparently. Right, how do we get... Okay. I'm just going to break this for now, and this needs to be broken as well. So if this... Now it pulls it. Okay, cool. So I need to make a way to power this. Somehow, these need to be turned off. So I wonder now if I can use a repeater instead of a redstone line, because then they won't connect to each other all weird. You know what I mean? Like since they're next to each other, they don't they have a direct forward power rather than if I had redstone going into the torches, they would just connect together and it wouldn't work. If I am not wrong, then I should have... Oh, no, I need the block to turn off. Yeah. That's what I need to do. I need to turn off this block's power. So let me try to do the same thing with the repeaters, because a redstone will just connect. Well, will that work? No. Right, but you just need to... Yeah, there we go. I think this would be delayed, because this one needs to go first. Oh, but it's already pushing it, isn't it? And only when this is moved exactly to this block and it's done in the moving state, it's done moving, then when it hits the redstone torch, then it'll push the block that's in front of it, these two blocks that aren't there yet, but will be. So I don't think I need to worry about timing for these. I think they can all just go at once, and then the second it hits the torch, it moves the block. So now the only question is it gonna work? So let's do that. Sounds like it. I think we... Yeah. Cool. And it doesn't retract. This is the problem here. So I think what we need to do is turn off this torch somehow. And we're going to do the same thing we did there. So I think we're just going to... We'll connect the current to one button or something. But right now, I think I need to turn off this same way. Right? And I think this is all going to have to go underground here. Even farther. And we're going to connect it to the other side. So, in theory... let me break that. Okay, that does work. Cool. I might have configured it weird because the state... Okay, that's not being pushed. Oh, there needs to be a... Right. The block needs to be powered. Still not moving, which kind of tells me that this isn't being unpowered at the right time. Okay, that works. We know that works. So we have the first half. The only problem is that means this needs to turn off first before these turn off. So that means there should be a repeater going this way with a delay. And the first thing that should turn off is this. No, I don't think it does. Never mind. I don't think that matters because the piston only moves. These pistons only move when they get to this torch. Even if this is lit up first, the pistons would have retracted so they won't move forward. Because I was thinking, oh, well, if these two pistons move forward before they're moved over, then it's not going to work. But that's not going to happen because they don't hit this until they've moved over when they are unretracted. So I think that works. So I think what I need to do is like, I need to do that. And it needs to go, yeah, nice. There we go. That wasn't super bad. It just took a little bit of thinking. Alright, now we just have to make the... Well, see, I don't want to do a T flip-flop thing in order to make the button a lever. Or maybe I can. I'm sure it's easy. T flip-flop. But we gotta do it both ways. I don't know if I really care too much about having a button, because I can still make this quite hidden without needing a button. You can do this a lot of different ways, I think. You know, have it real sort of, in there. Like that. Something not completely hidden, but it's not something you're going to notice. You would there, because this is just cobblestone on dirt. But actually, if we change some of this to stone, and then right there. Or actually, let's do this, because then we can just power this block here, and then we don't have to worry about some weird redstone. Looks like I'm gonna need more stone here, so it's time to cook. It's time to let them cook. Maybe we can like texture the wall, you know. Now, given that there's a pattern here in the wall with a texture, it's obviously going to point your eye to something. You're going to be like, well, that's a little deliberate. What's over here? And that might cause some problems. So, I'm not too sure. But I think if we... You know, that's not horrible. I mean, that's really not helpful. I think it serves its purpose. It's not you know, it's not going to be the best in the world, but I think it's okay. It's not the worst. Now the only thing I have to worry about is covering this back up and then adding a lever on the other side, which makes me think... You just can't win. I don't know. This is so stupid. That literally got me too. When was that there? I don't even... I'm not going to talk about it. Pretend that did not happen. Oh, thank you, game. And let's cover this back up over here. So I think we were going to have to use buttons, actually. We're probably going to have to keep on making this design a little bit more... little bulkier. Okay, it looks like we're gonna have to use a button, which I think is okay. It's just the only issue is, are we going to be able to get through in time? That's my only concern. Which also means, luckily, that we now have the ability to have a flush. Ooh, that is quick. Okay, well, I think we can manage. Maybe we can move this. And then this should power the block, which, yep, okay, let's do that. Let us do that. Okay. So I think that's better. Still not that flush. It serves its purpose though. Okay. Totally missed. Okay, that's way better. Uh-oh. Oh, right. I broke the thing, didn't I? And... close call. Still oh, no. This is a bummer. One more time. Close. That's really close. You gotta really... Oh, you gotta run for it. Okay. That's okay. I like that, though. So I think... yeah, I just have to be a little bit careful. But yeah. So now you get to go through here and hear a bunch of mobs screaming and crying, begging. And then you go through here, and then we get to our Excalibur area, whichever you want to call it. In the future, I want to make a very, very large version of this, because I think it'd be really cool to... Actually, it would have been smart to have a button in here for a secret door, because we got all these buttons. Whatever. I want to do a larger version of this in the future. Sort of like Gollum's cave with all the water around it, and then a big rock in the middle. And then I want to put a sword in it, but I want to make almost like a lake, not a pond. Like, I want it to be a very, very, very large scale build. I think that'll be really cool. But we are not there yet, and I do not have the resources to do that. So a lot of what I'm already building is just a small scale version of what I would like to build. I just imagine everything else a lot larger and more detailed. But effectively, it's mostly the same. Okay, one thing I want to finish up is... well, I wouldn't say finish up, but the ever-extending bridge needs the pillars to be made, and I figured I would use this opportunity in this episode to finish that up, because I haven't finished it. So I think I'm just going... well, first I need to get a bunch of cobblestone, like always. I mean, I think I've said that every single time at this point. Like, you're just kind of waiting for me to be like, all right, man, I gotta go get, 10 stacks of cobblestone and then come back. But a journey. I already made a new sword, new pickaxe, because I already know I'm gonna go through that pretty soon. And I would decide to go back to iron armor, because honestly, once I get more diamonds, I'll just make more diamond armor again. It's, especially because I'm digging right now. I'm about to go dig. I'm probably going to get a decent amount of diamonds, so I'm not really too worried about having to use iron. I think I'm just going to time-lapse me mining. And then same thing with the bridge. Yeah. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, here's my haul here. Pretty good. I think that'll be enough. And then I got 4 more diamonds, which is whatever, you know. And then I'm not going to be able to carry all this, but I can carry a decent amount. And since I'm just doing the pillars, it's pretty much just all cobblestone, so I don't really have to worry about anything else. So I'm going to cut when I'm over there, and then I'll continue the time lapse. Alright, I'm back, and I am ready to go. So hopefully I don't jump off the bridge when I'm done, because this is going to be a while. So, yeah. Anyway, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so I just realized how much cobblestone I've been going through and how little I've gone in distance. So I don't think I'm going to be extending this all the way right now, because it would literally take me like a really long time. So this is the progress we have so far. It actually, I thought it would look worse, but it doesn't. So I like the design. It looks, you know, I almost wanted these pillars to be a little wider, without, you know, them not being wider from where they are, because if I made them wider, they would sort of overlap with the little wall design on the tops of the pillars. It would just be wider, and then each one of the designs, like you can see where it has the 2 blocks, then 1, then another block, that would just be moved over to the edge. the pillar would just be wider, if that makes sense. I would prefer that, but this still looks okay. And I think it looks not bad, actually. The only problem is now I gotta do it for that much farther, which is a bit of a pain because I have gone through a lot of cobblestone for that, so I don't think I'm going to be finishing this today. I think what I want to do is sort of chip away at that bridge every episode. Just be like, hey, here's some progress, like another little bit, and then build other things and do other things, because just building this the whole time can be quite boring, but I don't want to not do it. So okay, given that I've finished the bridge already and sort of already got that part done, I think what I want to do is end it here. We got our piston door done, we got some of our arches done. Who knows when we're going to get that done, but it's going to take forever. But what's really exciting is next update will be beta 1.8, and in beta 1.8 we get sprinting, health bars, and a whole bunch of other stuff, stackable food. So next time it should be absolutely massive with the things we have to do, and I haven't even listed like half of those things there, and those are already huge. So stay tuned for that, and I will see you later. Ciao.